RTR shocks, we all have them, but what one is the best? In this video, I'm going to go through these shocks and let you guys know my opinions. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I cover everything from scale RC to bashing RCs, so please consider subscribing and tap that bell notification so you can see anytime I post new videos. So now let's talk about these shocks. I am fortunate enough to have a few rigs, so I have a few shocks laying around, and I kind of just wanted to talk about them real quick and let you guys know what I think of them. So we're gonna just kind of talk about the four I have here in front of me. I have a Traxxas shock, I got a shock from Axial, I got an HPI shock, and I got a shock from Element. Whoa. So if I had to rank them from the best one to the worst, I would have to say the Axial shocks are pretty weak. Even though they have a pretty good firmness and like feel to them, the build quality is just not there with the plastic bodies. They will leak on you pretty much no matter what, so you're going to want to upgrade if you have a SEX10 to these will start leaking and you will lose performance, but you know, they're not completely trash at least, but they're definitely not the best offering from Axial. If you get one of their kit trucks, you get metal bodies, and I imagine that they don't leak nearly as bad, but I don't have any personal experience with those. So next up, I'd have to say the HPI shock. Decent setup. It's got a dual rate. The collar is pretty slick. It sits nicely down on the shock rod. You don't have to worry about it, whereas the Axial one can come off, but they do have a hole in the bottom where you can put a little screw in and hold it on. But I've had pretty good luck with them, but I know some people say they pop off on them. The HPI shock is okay, metal body, plastic cap, but the dampening feels pretty good. I just think the spring rate on here, they're a little springy, but that can always be changed. Overall though, pretty decent little shock. Not too bad of an offering from HPI. So these two shocks here, I wouldn't even consider running if I didn't have to. I would upgrade these. Now the next two are not bad, and for the price you could get some and run them and you'd probably be performing pretty well. So first up is this Traxxas shock off a TRX4, metal body, plastic cap. They do have good ball ends that they come with if you take them off an RTR, so that is nice. The collar's decent, sits on the rod end pretty good, never any problems with it popping off. Definitely a firmer spring if you're gonna put them on a lighter vehicle, but it all depends on how you acquire the shocks. For me, they had the heavier spring rates on. So this shock is actually off my original Land Rover, and I run these on my SEX10 Blazer, and I've had pretty good luck with them. No leakage and just a decent little shock overall. But I'd have to say number one would be the Element shock. This shock has been really good performer, really like how it feels. The build quality is super nice, metal bodies, metal caps, even the little adjustment on your shock body here, that's a little metal piece. So super nice. The only thing I dislike is the collar design, the way it sits. I wish they kind of made it so it sit down into the rod end a little bit, because they will pop off and they're super easy to lose, but once you get used to it, no big deal. You kind of know what's going on. But I would have to say this is the best RTR shock that I have had. Well, I mean, I know this one isn't the RTR, but the RTR shocks are the same as the kit shocks, metal body, metal caps. So just a solid performing shock, and I've had good luck with them so far, and no leakage. That is the important thing. With shocks, you want to make sure you're not leaking, losing any oil. You want the best performance that you can get. Definitely not the best shocks out there. I know the aftermarket's probably got some better shocks, But as far as what you get when you get your truck, the Element truck is definitely going to have the best shocks, followed by any of your Traxxas TRX4 variants. Like I said, the axial shock is definitely the weakest one of the bunch, but you know, at least you can upgrade, and at least these will, you know, get you out on the trail. That's something to consider. Like when you're looking at these trucks, like RTR styles, you know, what you get. There's all kinds of little things, and for me, I really want a good performing shock, and that's something that I look for, and I was super pleased when I got my Element kit and it had great shocks out the gate. But guys, that is going to wrap it up on my thoughts on these RTR shocks. I hope you learned something. Thanks for tuning into the video. Don't forget, hit the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and as always, you know the deal. I'll catch you in the next one. I'm out.